Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Escape from Pripyat 4.0. And it is with a heavy heart that I must tell you that the previous series, which had gone on for more than 100 episodes, had come to a sudden and unfortunate end. There's two main reasons for this. One, I've been wanting to try Escape from Pripyat 4.0 for a long while now, and now that I finally have, it's mind-blowing. It awoke in me the same emotions and feelings as when I first installed Anomaly and learned about it. This is undoubtedly the best game I've ever played. Both 4.0, like 4.0 specifically, but Anomaly in general as well, of course. Escape from Pripyat 4.0 is, simply put, incredible. It expands so much on 3.0 that it made it completely redundant. It really did. So I wanted to play this for a while now, but of course, transitioning to 4.0 means losing all your progress. There is no way to port a save file from 3.0 to 4.0, and I've spent 36 hours trying to do that. Now, I'm no expert in modding, but I do know my way around mods. In fact, a lot of the mods from the previous series were fairly edited to make for a more compelling and interesting story, which I think I've done. Which is why it hurts me so much that we're not going to see the end of that story. I will work the events of what just happened, up until now, into the continuation, but we will have to continue from a different point of view, with a different character, and we will have to abandon the main storyline. Now, it's an unpopular decision, I know, but hear me out. I want to have this heart-to-heart with you as my community who... well, for whom I do this, right? It's for you guys. I would play this on my own, of course, but I go through the trouble of recording and editing and spending hundreds upon hundreds of hours on these videos for you guys, and I'm asking you to trust me on this. This will be a much better experience going forward if we cut. The main reason I have to abandon the previous series is because it's become too unstable. Is it me editing the mods? Probably not, because I'm just editing some of the values of items and damage and stuff like that. I'm just editing them and tweaking them by tiny amounts. I'm not changing the mods fundamentally, but 3.0 generally isn't as stable as 4.0. But it's not just that. It started to crash exclusively while doing the main quest line and killing Eidolon. I've killed Eidolon about 18 times now, and I couldn't string together a 15-minute video of me doing it. It kept crashing. Save files started to become corrupt. The autosave file of me walking into Pripyat is corrupt. The save file and the series is literally breaking down. Not good. Second, 2 days ago, or now it's 3 days ago, sorry, I haven't slept, so I'm trying to get this to work, and I couldn't by the end, but yeah, 3 days ago, I had to wipe my computer. I had to format my system drive completely because it became unplayable. EFP and pretty much everything else. My CPU usage was at around 80 to 90, sometimes 100%. All the time, whenever I'd be browsing, whenever I'm doing something that was too high. I probably even had some malware on there, but I had mainly metric tons of trash files that I didn't need anymore. Tiny little background applications all over the place, and it's an ancient system, right? This Windows and this computer are very, very old. I've had them for years and years and years, and I think 3 or 4 years ago I said, you know what, I should really format this, and I haven't gotten around to it up until now, because you lose everything, and it's a hassle, and, I mean, just tonight I've spent like an hour and a half finding all the different codecs I need for recording, and I still haven't found all of them, but I'm able to record with the old settings, so I guess I'm going to stop. It's a bit, boring and a bit difficult to find everything I need and get it exactly the way it was. I'll give you an example. My editing software will not recognize most of the files that I've recorded today, and they're just sample files for me trying to get it to work. But my point is, it took about an hour and a half to 2 hours to just get everything back together. And the problem with Anomaly is I need to get it back together as well, because a lot of the files there were lost too. And it's difficult, because a lot of those files are no longer available online. 3.0, it's like I said, is obsolete. It's gone. You can find it on some torrents and some shady places on the internet, and I'm willing to go there as well, but it's difficult. And there's no guarantee that I'll get everything back together. And even if I do, here's the main problem. Here's the, other than the stability that I mentioned, here's the second problem why I want to leave that series, even if it seems abrupt right now. Now that I've started the sort of tail end of the main storyline, there's no good place to end it. Because what happens is you follow pretty much the same storyline through the main original game. You kill Eidolon, you raid the Palace of Culture, you go into Chernobyl NPP, you raid the sarcophagus. Then there is a set of quests that takes you to Limansk to fight Sin, which is great, don't get me wrong, the urban warfare there is fantastic, but ultimately it's not about the storyline. The story itself is kind of immaterial, and it's not very great. I like that it pays homage to the originals and that it glorifies Strelok, and well, less so. Scar is either dead or Eidolon, so it's difficult to say, but probably the latter. So, we're tasked with killing him. Either way, though, the problem and the real issue here is that there isn't a good place to stop, and if I'm going to continue the story to its conclusion, to Strelok leaving with the army to be the government advisor, I think, on the zone or something, which isn't particularly satisfying of an end either for such a legend. I mean, the idea is his story will continue from there in Stalker 2, which we will see how that entire thing plays out, but now we have Stalker 2, the storyline of Anomaly isn't particularly exciting or important. It's the places it takes you, and you can go there without the storyline. But my problem is that if I'm to continue with the story, it'll take me probably another 100 episodes, and I won't get to Escape from Pripyat 4.0. And boy, is it worth it getting here. Like I said, it's incredible, and it will be worth it. So instead of continuing the story for God knows how long, and it continuing to crash and break down, and, me recording 10 minutes every 2 days, because it keeps crashing and corrupting my video files, for which I do not have an answer. Well, I do, I could record my whole screen, and then, but even then, I would have to load in and back and forth forever, and it takes all the fun and the immersion out. We're also missing out on quite a lot of content, because 4.0 has been out, 4.0, has been out for a while, and we're on hotfix 6.1 currently. And these hotfixes, by the way, despite the name, are pretty massive. So, yeah. We're going to get into this game, and I ask that you just, trust me on this, that this is worth it. So let's see the continuation of our friend's storyline from a different perspective, from a different character, and, well, see how things go from there. That said, though, before I begin recording the actual series, I do want to go through a few of the mods that I've altered and added to Escape from Pripyat 4.0. So the most important one, I think, especially for this character, is going to be Crook's Faction Identification UI. This is something that I've used at the tail end of the previous series as well, and it basically makes it so that when you mouse over a particular NPC in the after a certain period of time, when you hold your mouse over him, or hold your crosshair over him, you will get an identification logo in the corner of the screen telling you what faction they belong to. This especially, I think, is necessary for 4.0, where because of the unit and the NPC models, I'm having a ridiculously hard time identifying who's who. That and the color coding sort of the uniforms is all sorts of messed up. I've seen the same shade of green be used by both bandits, free stalkers, Monolith. Yes, Monolith has green uniforms. I thought they were all grey, but apparently not. Clear Sky also uses some of the green ones and some of the camo ones. It's horrible from an identification perspective, and I usually tend to take the shoot first, ask questions later approach, but this is going to just make it so it makes a little bit more sense, and I'm able to roleplay a little bit more as a character that has some experience in the zone. Alright, so as far as everything else is concerned, the weapons, gameplay, quests, etc., etc., I'll show it all in the in-game settings in just a minute, but everything is pretty much default, and you can tweak around with it however you please. As far as the visuals are concerned, though, this is where I've done the most extensive amount of work. I have added ADEGA 1.1. How do you find this mod is beyond me. I couldn't find it. I'll just Google it, basically. I think there is one guy on YouTube that made a video about how to install this, and his download link works, but I'm not sure if it works at the time of recording. I also couldn't find the video at the time of recording. This is a ridiculously hard mod to find, which is a little bit unfortunate because it's 10 gigabytes worth of upscaled textures from all kinds of different mods put together. Yeah, it's really good. It makes the game look a lot better. And then I've disabled all of these things in order to enable atmospherics. And atmospherics comes with a heap of these additional add-ons right now, and there is a tutorial on YouTube you can find on how to actually install this. Again, you can just search for it, it's the top search result. It's not difficult, but it takes a little bit of time, and honestly, it got the visuals to exactly where I want them. Now let's head into the game and check out a few of the sort of in-game settings that I'll be playing with. Okay, so here we go. Some of the mod configuration settings from over here. The most important one, in my modest opinion, is ZCP. ZCP makes it so, well, it's basically an overhaul for the spawns in the game of various different things, and I've kept it mostly default, but I will be playing on mutant and stalker population factor 1.5, and actually I might increase this all the way to 2. I don't know why, but with ZCP, the zone feels a lot emptier. So yeah, I honestly don't know what's up with this. In fact, I'm going to put it at 1.75. Now thinking about it, because I did test this out a little bit, and it's just, there's fewer NPCs and there's fewer mutants compared to Escape from Pripyat 3.0. Now, to be fair, it is more difficult, so fewer NPCs doesn't mean that it's easier, because they shoot more accurately, bullets hurt more, AI's a little bit better, everything, etc, etc, but still, it feels very empty, so I don't like that. I'm going to crank that up. There are also dynamic anomalies, loot, everything like that I'm keeping at the default values. For me, probably the most... is this... No, this is just the depth of field and stuff. For me, probably, I don't know which one of these it is, but it's also in the default settings. The thing that makes it so you can remove barrels off of weapons without needing to actually break the weapon apart. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Yes, you can, for those of you that aren't that into firearms in general, you can remove all the basic firing mechanisms and parts of a weapon without use of a toolkit, and yes, certainly without breaking the weapon. You can disassemble it, strip it, clean it, put it back together in great detail without using any type of tools for most modern weapons. Although not for the new US Army rifle that they're adopting, the Sig Spear. Yeah, that one you need tools for. And it's okay. We'll talk about it when the time comes, right? Either way, ballistics framework, everything is on default. Body health system is also on default. Although I'd like to put this on H, and then apply this, and then get over to controls, keybinds, and see if I have anything that's set to H. I don't think so. But one of the most annoying parts of this mod is key wrapper. Yeah, for some reason, this allows the anomaly engine to be engine keys to be bound as MCM keys. I don't really need this, especially because I feel like it's more trouble than it's worth. But okay, fine, I guess. A lot of these are disabled, as you can see, but the ones that I didn't need to enable were, like, I think for the weapons mostly. Yeah, so, for example, grenade on 4, I have that disabled, where it is. Here it is, ammo selector, I had to put that on Y. On the barrel grenade launcher on the V, but it's conflicting with someone and with something, and this is horrible. You're gonna spend a lot of time fiddling around with hotkeys until you eventually get them to where you want them, and I still don't think I have them exactly where I want them to be, but yeah, it is what it is. Alright, ammo check, everything is well, how do I put this, as it should be there, and I think that's about it. Right. Yes, over to gameplay and progression. I'm going to be keeping fairly reasonable. I'm going to increase the money reward for quests a little bit, as per usual, because the default rewards are a little bit shite and don't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make sense that you need to go and kill a group of, you know, stalkers or whatever, and you come back and the reward you get for it is less than, like, a box of ammo or something. Or, yeah, it just doesn't make sense, right? So, increase the rewards a little bit, but that's about it. Gameplay is also something we're going to have over there. But pretty much default with either medium or good player protection. Probably good, because bullets hurt a lot more in this mod now. Fast travel I don't use. Anyway, disguise system is going to be on, the stealth system is going to be on, and it's a little bit... well, it's very powerful, but it's also very sensible. In this version of the mod, the enemies don't magically know where you are. It makes a lot more sense when and how, the range at which they see you, and they can't see you through bushes, behind walls and stuff like that, which was a problem with the stealth system before, but now that's sort of, well, that's a lot better, let's say. And so yeah, I will be using the stealth system. It reminds me a lot of the stealth system in Metro. Pretty much all of the Metro games. So it works like that. There's also a light indicator on your UI, which is, I think, very cool, and a nice homage to the Metro games. So yeah, I'll definitely be using that. And I'm using modded EXCs, of course, but I didn't change anything here. And I think that's about it. The zone population factors don't matter because this is overwritten by that mod. And that's about it. If you have any questions about my setup, I will try and answer them as best I can in the comments down below. Feel free to ask me. I am using Atmos R+ reshade as well for the visuals, and you can use pretty much any of these. They all look phenomenal, except for, I think Badland I didn't like, and maybe one more of here. All of these are awesome, honestly. Just make sure that you follow the instruction guide for atmospherics to the letter. There's some stuff that you need to delete from the reshade folder as well, otherwise you can have problems with visuals and stuff like that, which I had because I didn't follow the instructions carefully enough. So yeah, please just follow the instructions carefully from the video, and you will get all of that. So right now, let's go ahead and start up a new game, and the video, or the first video in the proper Let's Play outside of this introductory bit, is going to be coming out probably tomorrow morning, or rather the day after this is released. Right, I think I've covered pretty much everything. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and we'll stay tuned with the rest of the, well, not the rest of it, but rather with the Stalker Anomaly Escape from Pripyat 4.0 series. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.